So, Kamilla Cardoso, a player for the Chicago Sky, and she's just answered a question that will have the entire Chicago Sky team or fan base turning on her, because they are wild. That's the best word I'll use to describe the Angel Reese fan base. They are nuts, and it's like it is two sides of the same coin. The Angel Reese fan base versus the Caitlin Crazies. Like they are two sides of the same coin, but they're not going to be happy with this answer. So let's never forget good old Kamilla Cardoso. That old tweet, I might tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. Go Sky. But she was in fact asked a very obvious question, which has a very obvious answer. Like, we can be real here. We can be real. She answered a very obvious question. She answered what she was asked with whatever the most obvious answer is. And if you guys agree that it's the obvious answer, subscribe. We're trying to hit 45,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And right now, we're only 246 off, lads. We're so close. But the question she was asked was this. I don't know what just happened there. A Jaguardia or a Jogadora. Again, I do not speak Portuguese, unfortunately. Oh my god, lads. I do not know what is wrong with my computer right now. But there we go. This is what she was being asked. I will badly butcher this in Portuguese. Jogadora mai promissora da Liga tirando você, which means the most promising player in the league, apart from you. And that is obviously what she was asked. This is what she said to that. This is what she answered to that question.
Liga tirando você.
Caitlin Clark.
I mean, she's not wrong.
A pessoa mais famosa que você tem nos seus...
And then obviously asked who the most famous person in her contact list was, and said Angel Reese, which probably could be very well be true. Could very well be true. I would assume. It depends on whether or not she has Caitlin Clark in her phone book. But either way, in terms of fame, no, it's not close. It's not close. Like, I was literally at a YouTube event last night, like between Irish YouTubers. Not one person had any idea of anything in basketball. When they were asking me like what type of content I do, it was like 2K, but now I start to make WNBA stuff. But they all mentioned the name Caitlin Clark. They all mentioned the name Caitlin Clark. But obviously, biggest dream is to win a championship, highlighting the W, first game coming back from injury against the Fever. And this obviously has not gone far. This is on the literal NBA page. It's on the NBA page, and I do appreciate the fact that they answered the question of other than yourself for most promising player, because where would you rank Kamilla Cardoso in terms of the most promising players in the WNBA? If we're talking players under 25, so Ryan Howard included, so basically Ryan Howard and younger, who would be the most promising? Like if you were to rank. So Caitlin 1. Cardoso might be 2, you know. Cardoso might be 2, like, it's a real tough one between Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston. And if I'm not mistaken, Cardoso's older than Aaliyah Boston. I think she's older than Aaliyah. Yeah, she's older than Aaliyah. By about 8 months. She's still so huge. I would go Caitlin, Cardoso, Paige, Aaliyah, with those three being kind of interchangeable. Who else under 25 would you put in that? Do you put Ryan Howard at 5? Do you go Angel at 5? Do you go... Nah, you don't put Jordan Horston at 5. You don't put anyone else in this year's draft. Do you put Cam Brink at 5? Post-injury? That's a real tough one, but I do think that Cardoso, realistically, is probably in the next 3. I think it's a near impossible argument to make that Caitlin Clark is not the most promising. In good faith, it's not a possible argument to make. But I think Cardoso will be in that next 3 with like Paige, Aaliyah. It depends though. Like if we're talking about promising, if we're talking promising, I'll go Aaliyah in there, and then that 5 spot is probably again when you're talking about Angel Reese is in that. She's in that conversation of 5 with Cam Brink and Ryan Howard probably. I think that's fair enough. And if you're gonna be like, oh, but like Ryan Howard or Angel made the All-Star team last year. Ryan Howard didn't yet. Howard has made the only reason Ryan Howard has not made 3 All-Star teams in 3 years is because she got injured last year. She got injured last year, and the Atlanta Dream were 100 times better when she was playing than when she wasn't. But I'm expecting the second that this starts to hit Chicago Sky, like the second, obviously, that this starts to hit Chicago Sky Twitter. And by the way, the person that made this is a Cardoso fan. A Cardoso fan who's supporting the Sky, but not even as soon as this hits Chicago Sky Twitter, as soon as this hits the Reese fans Twitter, it's gonna be grim. It's gonna be grim. But at the same time, I will say, it's not dissimilar to if, I don't know, let's just say Hailey Van Lith. No, she plays with the Sky. Let's just say, I don't know, Sonia Citron. If Sonia Citron said who the best player 25 and under is, or who, I don't know. If Sonia Citron decided to choose Angel over Caitlyn, like there would be equally as much backlash. So, not trying to argue that it's not 2 sides of the same coin, although one of the arguments is just an obvious one, and the other argument is very hard to make in good faith. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Obviously, look, is this the biggest deal in the world? Hell no. Hell no. This is not a big deal at all. But this is something that just obviously came up on the L Twitter feed, a half an hour ago? I think it hopefully should be time I have to stop timestamping videos. But 38 minutes ago is this tweet, because obviously I do record videos in bulk and then upload them throughout the day or days. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with Kamilla Cardoso? And if you don't, I would be very interested to hear why. If the answer is no for if you agree, because I can't really see any reason why somebody would necessarily say that Kamilla Cardoso is wrong with what she's saying, because for me, it's almost as good as being fact what she is saying right now. Let's be real. It's not far off being a literal fact that the best young player in the WNBA is Caitlin Clark. Like, again, Caitlin Clark put up stats that if she put them up in NCAA, she might have won National Player of the Year. And she did it in the freaking WNBA. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.